Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and good day to our respected and handsome lecturer, Mr. Mahdi. Today, my group members and I are going to present for Task 2 TSLB 3163 Curriculum Study, which is on the topic the causes or issue of the implementation of MEB and KSSR. So before we start, I'm going to introduce my group members and I, which consists of me, Jamalina Pt4S1-18, and the second presenter, which is our beautiful young lady, Irdayana Pt4S1-18, and the one and only gentleman in our group, which is Muhammad Ammar, as the third presenter for our presentation today. So first, I'm going to explain what is MEB or Malaysia Education Blueprint 2013-2035. Okay, MEB is a strategic roadmap for sustainable transformations of the nation's education system. It was developed to evaluate the performance of Malaysia's current education system with considerations of historical starting points against international benchmarks. So the blueprints offer future visions of the Malaysia education system and factors that aim to raise students' aspirations and strategic and also operational shape required to achieve this vision. There are 5 system aspirations for the Malaysian education system, which are centered on the access, quality, equity, unity, and also efficiency. Next, there are 6 student aspirations needed by every student to be globally competitive, such as knowledge, bilingual proficiency, thinking skills, ethics and spirituality, leadership skills, and also national identity. Given the need to develop the system capabilities, the implementation of Malaysia Education Blueprint will occur in 3 waves, which are Wave 1, which is to turn around the system by supporting teachers and focusing on core skills such as the 4 skill, which is on the reading, writing, listening, and speaking. This one is on for the year from 2013 to 2015. And moving on for the second wave, which happened on the 2016 until 2020, which is to accelerate the system improvement. And currently we are on the third wave, which is known as which is for the 2021 until 2023, which is we are going move toward excellence with increased operational flexibility. So the MEB emphasizes access, stating that every Malaysian child has the right to equal education opportunities to enable them to reach their potential and equity, which here means that providing the best education to every child regardless of their gender and socioeconomic background, showing the ministry's commitment to bridging the gap that exists in education. Moving on, I will explain briefly what is Primary School Standards-Based Curriculum or KSSR, or known as Curriculum Standard Sekolah Rendah. KSSR is a revised curriculum introduced back in 2017. It is the current primary school curriculum upheld by the Malaysian government, and it aims to provide a more student-centered and English-centric learning experience for the students. And the KSSR Semakan 2017 emphasizes the newly revised Malaysian primary school curriculum from 2017. The Malaysian government proposed the KSSR Semakan curriculum to ensure that primary school students will be provided with the relevant skills and knowledge needed to face the dynamic digital world. In KSSR, there are a few key features such as I mentioned earlier, which is the curriculum was proposed to ensure the primary school students will be provided with relevant skills and knowledge. And other that, it's also focused on more student-centered and English-centric, with the Malaysian Ministry of Education (MOE) proposing the curriculum. And the third key features of KSSR is to make a more holistic education for primary school students with the KSR curriculum introduced to revise the values and teaching methods of its predecessors, which is the old one, which is the curriculum Bersepadu Sekolah Rendah KBSR, and now currently we have revised from the KBSR to KSSR, which is the latest plan that we are following. So the KSSR curriculum aims to prepare primary school children in Malaysia with the knowledge, skills and also values necessary for facing the challenges of the 21st century. So the implementation of KSSR Semakan 2017 curriculum has been a phenomenon affecting all teachers and pupils in primary education, with teachers playing a key role in the implementation process. So based on our reading and research, one of the main causes or issues that drove the implementations of MEB and KSSR that we had discovered was due to the global competitiveness. In an era of increasing globalization and interconnectedness, nations worldwide are striving to enhance their global competitiveness. Malaysia, being no exception, recognized the importance of preparing its citizens with the skills and knowledge necessary to thrive in the global economy. So the global competitiveness agenda often require a more dynamic and skill-oriented education system. So according to the Ministry of Education 2013, MEB and KSSR is to address the need for Malaysia to remain competitive in the global arena, and the KSSR also aim to develop students holistically to compete globally in the 21st century era. So the implementation of KSSR was a part of this initiative, as it aimed to ensure that our education system produces graduates capable of competing on the global stage in an increasingly interconnected world, as cited by Chin et al. 2019. Other than that, the KSR curriculum was designed to equip students with the necessary skills and also knowledge to succeed in a rapidly changing world. Furthermore, our Malaysian Education Minister currently, which is Farina Sidik, she also stated that the MEB aims to improve the quality of education in the country to be equivalent to the international standard, as we aim to be in line with other global countries, so that we are not too far behind in education. To add, according to Mageswari 2023, Fadilina Sidik, who is our current Ministry of Education, stated that in the past, Malaysia was in the bottom third of the international education ranking through PISA, which is Program for International Students Assessment. However, through dedicated efforts and collaborative initiative under MEB, Malaysia has successfully exited this group, making a significant achievement. So this has proven that the issue of global competitiveness is one of the causes of the implementation of MEB and KSSR, as Malaysia aims to be in the top rank in education and align with other global countries in terms of the educations. Hence, the implementation of MEB and KSSR in order to achieve global competitiveness can be seen in the KSSR, with its emphasis on high order thinking skills, or HOTS, was created to align with the international standards and provide students with the skill required for the job market of the 21st century, which is such as the creativity, communication, leadership skill, problem solving, collaboration, technology, literacy, decision-making skills, and many more related and important skills required by the students to strive and get a place in the job market, to ensure that they, which is the students or the graduates, are competitive enough and deserve a place for the job that they wanted. This is due to the problems faced by previous graduates, where they have to fight with other graduates too, and mostly Malaysian students who studied in Malaysia often lost their chance due to the competitiveness of other graduates from overseas school or universities, since they acquired more skills than the students in Malaysia. Thus, MEB and KSSR aim to align with other well-developed countries in education to produce more quality and competitive graduates, so they will get a place in the job market. And other than that, KSSR also ensured that Malaysian graduates were not only academically proficient but also possessed the critical thinking and problem solving skill necessarily for innovation and adaptability. This is because when we want to make an innovation, we must have the important skills such as the critical thinking skills and problem solving skills to make the innovation successful. So when there's a few important skills possessed by the Malaysian graduate, they will be able to fight in the job market. And this also reflects a recognition that international interests are served by producing globally competitive individuals. In summary, the implementation of the MEB and KSSR is driven by the needs to improve the quality of education in Malaysia and to ensure that the country, Malaysia, remain competitive in the global landscape. So I think that is all from me for the first issue of the implementation of MEB and KSSR. Next, I will pass the presentation to the next presenter, which is our beautiful young lady, Irdayana.
Thank you to our beautiful Jamalina. The explanation earlier helps us to understand and link it to the cause of implementation of the KSSR and MEB. Okay, Jamalina had covered the cause of global competitiveness, whereas I will cover another cause of implementation, which is pedagogy and cognitive development. Okay, prior to the release of KSSR, the KPSR was in use for almost 20 years, and then education theories and pedagogical practices changed during this period, highlighting the necessity of a curriculum that not only imparts knowledge but also creates on enhancing the students' cognitive abilities and higher order thinking. And to add on, in line with the 21st century learning, discrimination is no longer there in the education system, in which inclusive education needs to be applied in Malaysia's curriculum system. Okay, however, before we go in depth about this a second cause of implementation, I would like to briefly explain what HOTS and inclusive education are. Okay, according to Ping and Hua 2017, the HOTS concept transforms the Malaysian education system from chalk to talk to chalk and talk, to student-centered. Okay, focusing on students' understanding and training in creativity and critical thinking. Okay, students are no longer dependent only on the teacher's input, but they are also required to think outside of the box and look for answers based on their understanding. Okay, this helps students to be more open and creative because they are required to give answers based on their opinion, in which there are no exact right or wrong answers, because it is based on whether the student's understanding is correct in linking it with their answer. Okay, whereas for inclusive education, according to JIA 2013, inclusive education advocates for the inclusion of all students, opposes discrimination and exclusion, promotes fairness and justice in modern education. Okay, inclusive education, it gives the opportunity for students with disabilities to receive the same education opportunities as the other student despite their handicap. Okay, they are able to receive their rightful education that they need and deserve without being discriminated against. Now, we're going to move forward to the first aspect of educational pedagogy and cognitive development that causes the implementation of KSSR and MEB, which is that I've mentioned before, higher order thinking skills or HOTS. Okay, the first point would be the global trend. The implementation of KSSR was a response to the evolving understanding of effective teaching and learning. Okay, the focus of HOTS It was in line with the global trend in education to foster creativity, critical thinking, and then problem-solving abilities. Okay, countries like Singapore, Finland, Australia, the US, China, and others, they have implemented HOTS in their curriculum, in which the reason why Malaysia is going up towards the global trend in implementing it into the curriculum. Okay, the Malaysian education system aimed to align with modern pedagogical approaches that prioritize skills development in order to produce students who are not only knowledgeable but also capable of applying their knowledge in real life or real world scenarios. Realizing that a knowledge based curriculum alone might not be sufficient. Therefore, students would know what they should do when they encounter certain real life situations or challenges because they have been prepared to face real life situations in schools. So, for instance, like ordering food at a restaurant or how to respond to an email. Okay, the second point of discourse would be to adapt to the changing needs of society. Okay, the realization that the educational system needed to change led to the decision to switch from KBSR to KSSR after almost 20 years. Okay, the KSSR was created in response to the shifting demands of society and in line with the developments in curriculum design and educational pedagogy. In line with the 21st century, HOTS will prepare students for the future and where they are able to solve problems on their own and become innovators in dealing with hard situations. Okay, the last point would be to be in line with the advancements in education and pedagogy and curriculum design, where a change from a content-centric model, as in KBSR, to a skill-focused model was symbolized by the KSSR. Okay, the curriculum it sought to develop the students who are not only knowledgeable but also be able to critically analyze and solve problems by introducing higher order thinking skills. Okay, this change and reflects the realization that the education needs to change to keep up with the demands of a world that constantly and changes quickly. So, aligning with advancement in educational pedagogy and curriculum design also involves innovating teaching strategies and foster a learning environment that promotes critical thinking, collaboration, problem solving, and creativity. Okay, for instance, project-based learning, where students are required to do a project by applying and synthesizing their real-world content and encourage them to be critical, creative, to solve problems. And then another one would be collaborative learning, where to be in line with the advancement of education and pedagogy, students should be able to collaboratively learn, like having group discussions or group projects that requires teamwork. This also enhances their communication skills and interpersonal skills. Moving on to another aspect of educational pedagogy and cognitive development that causes the implementation of KSSR and MBB, which is inclusive education. Okay, like many other countries, Malaysia had to deal with the issue of socio-economic inequality. Okay, in order to promote inclusive education and guarantee that all societal segments had access to high quality education and chances for socio-economic advancement where the MEB and KSSR they were put into place. And then fitting into the needs of the society where education is needed by everyone, regardless of their background, and then their disabilities should not be a reason for them to be discriminated against, regardless whether it is hearing impairment, visual impairment, or learning disabilities. All of them should deserve the education that they need. Okay, and then with its standard-based methodology, the KSSR is sought to give every student a clear set of learning objectives in order to promote educational equity. The curriculum's emphasis on inclusive education, it aims to break the cycle of socioeconomic inequality by enabling students from a variety of backgrounds to think critically and creatively. This shows a dedication to utilizing education as a tool for economic growth and social mobility. Inclusive education also emphasizes equity more than equality. Equality is when each student is given equal opportunities regardless of their level. However, equity is to give the opportunity more towards the one who needs it. Students with disabilities should given more support from teachers, their classmates, the school, parents, and even the community to give the education that they deserve. Then next is teacher professional development, where teachers must possess the information and abilities to necessarily support these students, a diverse student body, in order for them to put inclusive education and to be implemented successfully. So programs for teacher professional development that stress on inclusive teaching techniques and approaches that may focus on KSSR and MEB. That is why the curriculum for future teachers have been changed and incorporated inclusive education as one of the courses to prepare teachers in accepting and incorporating inclusive education in the classroom. Whereas another one is to ensure a positive school culture for the students. KSSR and MEB might be a place for them to have a strong emphasis on creating and accepting and to put the inclusive school environment that fosters understanding, acceptance, and respect among staff members and students. That's why, according to Zalizan M. Jelas and Manisah Muhammad Ali 2014, inclusive education in Malaysia faces challenge due to the complexity of interpreting policy, priorities and the conceptualize of special educational needs. Malaysia still needs to keep up and put inclusive education more into the curriculum and help to put more equity more than equality and give the students the education that they deserve. That is all from my part. Now I'm going to pass this to my other group member.
I will be the last presenter in my group. So the last key point that I will discuss is national identity and cultural considerations. So as we all know that Malaysia is known for its rich culture diversity, with a population consists of the Malays, the Indian, the Chinese, and also various indigenous groups from Sabah and Sarawak. And also, we also have indigenous group in the Peninsula Malaysia also. So, to unite these various diversity, one of the factors that can enhance the unity between the various diversities educations. So in this context, in this curriculum context, the education system plays a crucial role in shaping national identity and fostering a sense of unity among a diverse population, which is the Malay, Chinese, Indian, and the indigenous groups. So, recognizing the importance of preserving and promoting this diversity, the KSSR curriculum is designed to incorporate elements that reflect the cultural heritage of the different communities in Malaysia. Okay, according to the NOR 2017, the shift from the previous curriculum, KBSR, to KSSR was motivated by a desire to strike a balance between instilling national value and fostering culture diversity. So, so the shift from KBSR to KSSR was the reason the shift was because of the desire to make a balance between instill national value and fostering cultural diversity. The KSSR curriculum also emphasized to promote national identity and pride among students. And this can be supported by Sheila and Shasha et al. 2019. She said that the introduction of the primary school standard curriculum, which is KSSR in Malaysia, aims to produce aim to produce students who master history by integrating knowledge, skill, and values. So the like Hida and Shasha highlight history, uh, the history, the history itself. So uh, we can see that this curriculum was seen as a way to produce citizens with high national identity, pride, and responsibility. So how KSSR, we can see the next slide, how the implementation of KSSR can enhance the national identity and cultural consideration. So in the next slide, wait So for the implementations, for the implementations, the history subject become a core subject that all year 4 to 6 student must learn. So basically, the history subject become a compulsory because the aim to instill the knowledge and basic of history thinking, as well as to apply patriotic spirit for the students. Other than that, it also can produce and educate student to be a student with national identity and to understand the background of and history of country with social national integrations. So basically, to unite people different uh, different culture, and uh, the student first must know the history itself, the history of the country. So when they know about the history of the country, the basic history, the the background of the country itself, it can help the student to understand each other, and also can build a unity and also national identity as a Malaysian. Like the student will understand that they are Malaysian even though their ethnicity is Chinese, Indian, or indigenous groups. Other than that, KSSI curriculum not only promoted a sense of national pride, but also acknowledged and respected the culture nuances of Malaysia's various ethnic groups. So we can see that this reform, like the curriculum reform, were intended to create a more uh, inclusive educational environment that celebrated the nation diversity, while reinforce reinforce a common national identity which is uh, Malaysian. Okay. So beside subject history, like Bahasa Malaysia is promoted as a unifying factor in KSSR, which means that proficiency in the national language is seen not only as a practical communication tool, but also as a means of building a shared linguistic identity. The linguistic unity fosters a sense of belonging and inclusion among students. As we all know, language is a powerful tool for a communication and unity. So as we can see, all of the school in Malaysia have uh, all of the school in Malaysia, the subject Bahasa Malaysia is a compulsory for them. This is uh, because KSSR curriculum recognize the significance of the language in fostering understanding among diverse community. This curriculum places a special emphasis on Bahasa Malaysia, the national language, as a mean of creating a common linguistic that unifies students from different linguistic background. For example, even though that there are the Chinese, the Malays, the indigenous group, they all have the same they all have a different language that they are usually used. For example, the Chinese maybe they are comfortable with the Mandarin, and the Indian with the Tamil, and the indigenous group, maybe the Iban, or also the Kadazan Luzon. But with the emphasis of Bahasa Malaysia, uh, uh, all of the students are compulsory to learn Malay, so that the language can be like uh, can be a common linguistic that everyone use, and also unify the students. This create the national identity itself, which is the as a Malaysians. Okay, next. The conclusions that I can get from the presentation is uh the introduction of the KS as a curriculum in Malaysia was motivated by a number of factors. Like just now, like Jamalina Ayana talk about Jamalina talk about the need to maintain global competitiveness. I'm talking about the national identity and pride, and also high order high order thinking skill in people from Yana. So this issue were addressed with the implementation of the KSS curriculum, which tended to provide students with the skill and information they needed to succeed in a fast-changing world. So we can see that it was a comprehensive effort to ensure that Malaysian students were not only uh, academically uh, proficient, or uh, uh, academically proficient, but also equipped with the skill and perspective necessary for success in globalized and rapidly environments. So by addressing this all issues, uh, the KSL curriculum uh, aim to provide a holistic and forward-looking education for students in Malaysia. So these the references that we get from creating these presentations. And yeah, I think that's all. Thank you. That's all from us. Thank you.